Alrighty, let's actually talk about units of area, and let's talk about hectares as well while we're at it. So, what is a square centimetre? Well, it is 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre. You can draw that in your book, and you can actually see what a square centimetre looks like. It's 1 centimetre by 1 centimetre. That's what it means. It's 1 square centimetre. How big is a square millimetre then? Well, it's 1 millimetre by 1 millimetre. That's a square millimetre. What about a square metre? Well, it's a metre by a metre. That's a square metre. And then what about a square kilometre? Well, let me zoom out a little bit. Square kilometre is going to be 1 kilometre by 1 kilometre. And this goes on quite a way. In fact, in comparison, yes, these are getting quite a bit bigger, right? So the problem is, and this goes very far away, like this 1 kilometre is lots of metres, so it's huge, it's 1,000 metres, so this is going on for some time. So these units aren't exactly very middling, basically meaning square centimetre, quite small, good for measuring small things. Square metre, pretty good for measuring moderately large things. Square kilometre, great for measuring continents. So we've kind of got this in-between area. We've got square metres, which are good for some things, and we've got square kilometres, which are great for measuring huge distances. But we needed something kind of in between massive stuff and slightly less massive stuff. So hectares are this kind of in-betweensy unit, right? Which is a little bit easy to work with. So let's work through the conversions between our different units. So we're going to start off with our regular units, being the millimetres, centimetres, kilometres. And just as a reminder, it's 10, 100, and 1,000. And to get from millimetres to centimetres, you're going to divide, and you're going to divide. And to go from backwards to get to kilometres to metres, you're going to multiply, go on to multiply. Okay. Well, what changes when all of these become square units? Well, when all of these become square units, the only thing that changes is that it becomes 10 squared, 100 squared, and 1,000 squared. That's the only change. Okay? So the conversion rate between square centimetres and square metres is you divide by 100 squared. Alrighty, there you go. There's your conversion chart. Only other one we need is hectares. And we'll go like this. From hectares to square metres. So we will put hectares over here. Okay? And to get there, they are 10,000 square meters. So we would multiply by 10,000 to get to there. And to get back, we would divide by 10,000. So they're kind of meant to be a middle ground between square meters and square kilometers. Bigger than a square meter, but still quite significantly smaller than a square kilometer. Alrighty, so let's actually have a look at trying to work out the area of something. Alrighty, so this is our friendly half parallelogram, commonly known as a triangle. So its area is half base height, or base times height over 2, whichever you prefer. Issue, our units are in the wrong units. We've got 1 in meters and 1 in kilometers. So let's use our regular conversions just to get this out. I'm going to go to kilometers, so divide by 1,000. That leaves me with 1.2 kilometers, which is the height, and this is the base, and we get a half times 2.5 times 1.2, which is equal to 1.5 kilometers squared kilometers. Okay, but let's do this now in hectares. To get to hectares, we know that we need to get to square meters first. So to convert from square kilometers to square meters, we're going to need to multiply by 1,000, but since they're square units, it's going to be 1,000 squared. So let's go 1.5 times 1,000 squared, and it's 1,500,000 square meters. Alrighty, and now we want to get to hectares. We're going to divide by 10,000, which is going to give us 150 hectares. And you can kind of see now why hectares are kind of a useful measurement of using it. 1.5 square kilometers seems like not that much, but it doesn't really tell us much. 1,500,000 square meters seems all right, but again, that seems like too big a number. Whereas 150 hectares feels like you can kind of get the sense of the size of it a little bit better. So that's hectares. See you in the next one. Goodbye.